Embracing love and tradition, a heartwarming journey in the villa. In the winter holidays, Jasmine spends most of her time at home, reading romance novels on her phone and occasionally joining her brother for meals. When she receives a message from Serenity, she suggests trying an Italian restaurant, but Serenity declines, opting for the next night instead and inviting Elisa to join. Jasmine shares that Liberty is on a strict diet and has lost weight. Serenity worries about her sister's eating habits. Jasmine assures her that Liberty is taking care of herself and eating enough. They decide to meet at the Italian place the next night, just the two of them since Zachary is recovering from the flu. As Serenity leaves to go home with Zachary, Jasmine explains that she needs to go grocery shopping with her mother. She feels envious of Jasmine's mother's presence, as Serenity's own mother is no longer alive. As they leave together, Zachary informs Serenity that he is done with work and that they can go home. He takes her hand and leads her to their car, joking about how convenient it is to have brothers working in the same company, as Callum covered for him during his sickness. They head home in their national MPV. Zachary usually drove his Rolls-Royce, but during his business trip, the chauffeur took the sedan back to their old residence and was on standby. Serenity commented on the variety of luxury sedans in the company's parking lot, and Zachary explained that many senior executives preferred lavish cars due to their high incomes. However, he mentioned his preference for investing in properties, as their value tends to increase over time. Serenity shared that she had been saving up to buy a house and mainly commuted to work using her e-bike. She had sent a text to her sister Liberty but hadn't received a reply yet, knowing that Liberty had been busy and had lost a significant amount of weight. Arriving at Regent Residences, Serenity admired the view as they approached Zachary's villa, which was situated at the top of a hillock, among 5 villas. He explained that his villa was the most remote and therefore slightly cheaper, but he enjoyed the tranquility and privacy it offered. Upon arriving at the gate of his villa, Serenity asked if anyone else lived with him, assuming that his parents or grandmother might stay with him in such a large house. Zachary revealed that he had lived alone before marrying Serenity. She understood that his elders likely preferred to stay in their familiar family home rather than moving to the bustling city. After skillfully unlocking the gate, Zachary got back into the car and started the engine, smoothly driving into the villa compound. Parking the car on the empty driveway, he offered an explanation to Serenity without her pressing for answers. "My parents and Nana prefer living in the old residence and away from the bustle of the city. They've been there for decades, and it has become their comfort space. They cherish the peace and quiet, away from the hustle and bustle. Occasionally, Nana would stay with us for a few days and then disappear somewhere else, enjoying her own little adventures." Serenity nodded, understanding the sentiment. It's not uncommon for older generations to prefer the tranquility of their longtime homes over the busyness of city life, and she respected their choice. Stepping out of the car, Serenity strolled around the front lawn, taking in the picturesque landscape of the estate. The villa boasted an elegant front lawn and backyard, adorned with a swimming pool, meticulously pruned trees, and a charming pergola. A swing hung from the sturdy branch of a tree near the pergola, creating the perfect spot to enjoy a good book or the captivating views. In the backyard, the scene was even more enchanting, with lush greenery and a variety of fruit trees, including unique Wildsbunion trees like the apple and mango trees. Serenity's eyes sparkled with excitement as she contemplated turning the open space in the middle of the backyard into a fruitful garden, growing her own fruits and vegetables. Voicing her idea, she blurted out, "You know, Zachary, I've been thinking. This vacant lot in the backyard is ideal for a beautiful fruit and vegetable garden. It would be amazing to grow our own fresh produce and enjoy the fruits of our labor." Zachary smiled warmly, indulging her dreams. "I don't have much time for gardening, but as the lady of the house, you can cultivate whatever you desire. The land is at your disposal, and I have no objections to how you choose to use it." Unbeknownst to Serenity, Zachary had made special arrangements to surprise her. While he was recovering in the hospital and she was not around, he had instructed the butler to move everyone to the other villa temporarily. The gardener was tasked to clear the land, creating space for Serenity's dream garden. He even had the swing installed near the pergola, knowing she would appreciate it. Serenity grinned at Zachary's support, feeling grateful for his understanding and encouragement. However, she reconsidered the idea of moving in just yet, thinking practically about their situation. "The place is a little far from our workplaces. We should stick to the apartment in Brenfield. It's more convenient and accessible. We could use the villa for short breaks and vacations instead." Zachary was quick to assure her, "We have cars, my love. We can easily drive here after work or on weekends whenever we need a peaceful retreat. Plus, it's much quieter here compared to Brenfield, where we're surrounded by families with kids, and you know how noisy that can get with all the homework tutoring sessions." Serenity chuckled, "Don't complain too much, Zachary. When we have a child in school, you'll have your fair share of homework help to deal with. Let's see how patient and mellow you'll be then." He confidently replied, "Trust me, Saren. I'll handle it like a pro. No need for yelling or losing my cool. We'll figure it out together." Serenity gave him a teasing look, "We shall see about that. When the time comes, you'll be in charge of homework duty, and I'll handle the house chores. Deal?" He readily agreed, "Deal. I'll take care of the little scholar's academic journey, and you can manage the household. We'll make a great team." As they bantered playfully, Zachary took her hand in his, and they continued to explore the villa together. Sensing the romantic ambience of the place, he couldn't resist a cheeky comment, "You know, Saren, this place holds an undeniable allure for me. Perhaps we should start making babies right away, so we can have our own little ones running around here." Serenity playfully pouted, "What's the rush, Zachary? Can't you take me around first to get familiar with everything?" He chuckled, "Of course, my dear. We'll take our time and savor every moment here. This is our home, and we have all the time in the world to explore it together," Zachary declared affectionately, wrapping his arms around Serenity as they entered the house. With a playful demeanor, He even picked her up at one point, swiftly carrying her up the stairs. "Once I've had my fill, I'll prepare a sumptuous dinner for you downstairs." Serenity couldn't help but be swept off her feet by Zachary's loving gestures and found herself at a loss for words. They entered the master bedroom on the second floor, but before Serenity could inspect the room, Zachary gently placed her on the bed. His passionate gaze met hers as he leaned in closer, and Serenity teasingly nudged him, commenting, "You're heavy." Zachary maintained eye contact with her, not hiding his desire as he gruffly asked, "Can I, Saren? If you're not ready, we can take it slow. I don't want to pressure you." Serenity lovingly caressed his face, admiring his features. "You're quite the handsome devil, you know. I've been tempted to devour you like a she-wolf ever since we got married. But you just got out of the hospital, you shouldn't be taking cold showers." Zachary chuckled, "You caught me. I know you've been teasing me all along, but I don't mind waiting for you. I want us to take this step together when you're ready." With their feelings for each other blossoming, and the annulment agreement destroyed, Serenity was prepared to move forward and consummate their marriage. She didn't want their relationship to be merely a marriage on paper. Zachary, ever the gentleman, suggested she take a shower first to relax before their intimate moment. He picked up some fresh clothes and headed to the guest bathroom. Before leaving, he couldn't resist stealing a few more affectionate kisses, making Serenity blush even more. She lay in bed, waiting for him, her heart racing with anticipation. When Zachary returned, he noticed her nervousness and thoughtfully asked if she wanted some alcohol to help her relax. Serenity had a tendency to let go and unwind with a little alcohol, and she hesitated before admitting that she would appreciate it. Zachary assured her, "Don't worry, I have a minibar in the bedroom. I'll make you something light to help ease your nerves." Serenity nodded gratefully. The prospect of this intimate moment was making her shy and jittery, as she had little experience in such matters. A shot of alcohol seemed like a good idea to calm her nerves. As Zachary went to get the drink, Serenity, curious about his bedroom, reached for her phone to Google something. However, before she could find what she was looking for, Zachary playfully took the phone away, his voice husky as he whispered, "Saren, let me be the one to teach you everything you need to know." Caught red-handed searching the web, Serenity couldn't hide her embarrassment as she quickly locked her phone, pretending it was just a random act of boredom. Trying to change the subject, she asked Zachary, "Where's the alcohol?" Zachary brought 2 glasses of alcohol and handed one to Serenity, cautioning that they shouldn't drink too much as they hadn't had dinner. Serenity complained about the small amount of alcohol, but she took a sip to taste it, finding it weaker than expected. It seems Zachary didn't want her to get too intoxicated. She finished her glass in no time and playfully tried to steal Zachary's glass, which had more alcohol. But he playfully resisted, placing the glass out of her reach. He pinned her down gently and kissed her, trying to reassure her as she expressed her nervousness. As things got heated between them, Zachary's phone started ringing repeatedly. Ignoring the calls, he was too engrossed in the moment to answer. caller was Clive, who wanted to talk to Zachary but gave up after 3 unsuccessful attempts. Later, at Clive and Alice's home, Clive seemed upset about not being able to reach Zachary. Alice reminded him that Zachary had just returned with his wife, and they were likely having dinner. She urged Clive not to worry about work during their time together, as they had plans to go to the movies that night. Clive assured Alice that he would try to meet Zachary the next day, making sure Lisa wouldn't overhear anything. He intended to enjoy the evening with his wife before talking to Zachary privately later on. Zachary's face was beaming with delight as he descended the stairs, humming a cheerful tune that reflected his joy. Although they had been married for a while, he knew that his relationship with Serenity had evolved far beyond just being her husband in name. It was a bond built on love, trust, and genuine companionship. With a sense of purpose, he made his way to the kitchen, reaching for the apron hanging on the door. Tying it around his waist, he opened the fridge to retrieve the necessary ingredients for the dishes he had in mind. The first item on his agenda was to prepare a special broth, suitable for women after their first intimate experience together. In a skilled display of culinary finesse, Zachary skillfully combined the ingredients and let them simmer in a slow cooker, ensuring the flavors would meld perfectly. Next, he turned his attention to Serenity's favorite dish, live shrimp. Realizing they were out of fresh seafood, he called Sam, instructing him to deliver the succulent shrimp to their home. Sam, feeling apologetic, suggested that Mrs. Lane should have prepared their dinner in advance. However, Zachary assured him that they were in no rush to eat and that Serenity had already eaten something at her office. Content with the arrangements, Zachary resumed his cooking endeavors. Cooking in the kitchen filled him with nostalgia, and he couldn't help but reminisce about his Nana, who had played a significant role in shaping him and his brothers into skilled chefs. It was a unique upbringing, as Nana had wanted them to win their wives' hearts through their cooking skills. The idea that their culinary prowess could become a means of deepening their romantic connections with their partners was both charming and heartwarming. Meanwhile, Serenity was thoroughly enjoying a soothing bath. The warm water and fragrant bath oils created a sense of relaxation, easing the tension in her tired body. Her thoughts drifted to her sister, Liberty, and her adorable son, Sunny. She longed to see them both, but she was glad to hear that Liberty was doing well. As the phone beside her rang, she quickly answered, excited to hear from her sister. Liberty explained that she had just returned from her shop and was planning to cook dinner once she reached home. Serenity inquired about Mrs. Lane, and Liberty reassured her that she had asked her to take care of their home and pets while they were away. Feeling sympathy for Liberty's exhaustion, Serenity realized that her sister's hard work in setting up her shop had resulted in a more active and fit lifestyle. Gone were the days when climbing the stairs left her breathless. With the evening progressing, both sisters went about their separate routines, Zachary cooking a heartfelt meal for Serenity while Liberty lovingly tended to Sunny and prepared their dinner. After a heartening conversation with her sister, Serenity felt uplifted and got out of the bath. Her considerate husband had left fresh clothes for her, and she quickly changed before making her way downstairs. The house felt unusually quiet, and Serenity couldn't help but think about how their Brinfield home had been devoid of much activity due to Zachary's late hours at work. The solitude made her wish they had pets to keep her company. However, with the addition of Mrs. Lane to their lives, their home became livelier. As she reached the ground floor, the sounds of commotion emanating from the kitchen piqued her curiosity. Peeking inside, she found Zachary diligently working on preparing dinner. The sight of him engrossed in the culinary process made him even more attractive to her. Inspired by the moment, Serenity decided to capture it on camera. She pulled out her phone and discreetly recorded a video of Zachary's back as he worked. She playfully posted the video on her social media stories with a caption that read, "The stunning back of the man who is making me dinner." Zachary turned around and noticed her presence, but instead of being annoyed, he welcomed her with a warm smile. He suggested she lie down and rest while he finished cooking, but Serenity couldn't wait, she was too hungry. Besides, the idea of having dinner together excited her. In the midst of their conversation, the doorbell rang, signaling the arrival of the shrimp Zachary had ordered for her. He had gone to great lengths to ensure she had her favorite dish. Feeling grateful and affectionate, Serenity embraced him from behind and expressed her contentment with his care and love. Zachary reciprocated her affection and reassured her of his unwavering commitment to their marriage. He made it clear that divorce was not an option for him and that he intended to be there for her throughout their lives together. Serenity, with a smile on her face, acknowledged the depth of their bond and the seriousness of their commitment. She playfully reminded him that they had just begun their journey as a real couple and that divorce was not on the table. With that, she let him continue with his cooking, promising to take care of the shrimp delivery herself in the future. Zachary, in his devotion to her happiness, wanted to ensure that her needs were met, even if it meant making the extra effort to get her favorite dish. A silver sedan came to a halt just outside the villa, and Serenity saw a figure standing at the gate. She felt a sense of familiarity and upon closer inspection, realized it was her mother-in-law, whom she had met a few times before. "Mom," Serenity called out, taken aback by the unexpected visit. She hurried to the gate to greet her, only to realize that she didn't have the key to unlock it. Apologetically, she explained the situation to her mother-in-law and promised to get the key from Zachary. Rushing back into the house, Serenity found Zachary in the kitchen and informed him about his mother's arrival. She asked him to hand over the gate key, wondering why her mother-in-law didn't have one. Zachary replied, "The house keys are on the coffee table in the living room. My mom might have forgotten to bring hers." Concerning about her mother-in-law's dinner, Serenity suggested that Zachary open the gate while she prepared a meal for her. Zachary replied, "The house keys are on the coffee table in the living room. My mom might have forgotten to bring hers." Concerned about her mother-in-law's dinner, Serenity suggested that Zachary open the gate while she prepared a meal for her. She didn't want to leave a bad impression, as some mothers-in-law had strict expectations about household chores and their daughters-in-law's roles. Drawing from her sister's experience in a failed marriage, Serenity was wary of facing similar issues. She knew that some mothers-in-law expected their sons to be relieved of all household tasks, believing it was the daughters-in-law's duty to take care of everything. However, Zachary reassured her that his mother shouldn't have any issues with them sharing the household tasks. His family, led by his Nana, believed in treating all women in the family with kindness and respect. With a loving gesture, Zachary tenderly held Serenity's hand and assured her that they, as a couple, would decide how to run their household. He promised to talk to his mother if any concerns arose. Zachary was determined to show his mother that Serenity was his equal partner, and he would happily cook for her. He believed that their marriage was no one else's business, and they were free to choose how they wanted to live their lives together. Zachary's loving words provided Serenity with reassurance. "I'll open the gate for your mom now. But don't be surprised if I stand my ground if she accuses me of skipping on house chores." Serenity firmly believed that household tasks should be shared equally and not solely placed on the shoulders of married women. She was prepared to stand up for herself if needed, just like she had witnessed her sister being criticized by her mother-in-law. Zachary reassured Serenity that his mom wouldn't say anything of the sort to her. He believed that any concerns his mother had would be communicated to him directly. As Serenity opened the gate for her mother-in-law, Tanya appeared patient despite the wait. The two women entered the villa together and engaged in a warm conversation. Serenity happily shared that Zachary was the one cooking tonight, and she playfully suggested that Tanya should judge who was the better cook between them. Tanya complimented her son's cooking skills, recalling that it had been a while since she had tasted his dishes. Zachary was pleased that his mother and wife seemed to get along well. Later, when Serenity went to collect the seafood delivery, Tanya took the opportunity to have a private conversation with her son. She remarked that he looked a bit like his father while wearing the apron and cooking. Zachary acknowledged the resemblance and mentioned that he was following his father's example. Tanya pointed out that it had been a long time since the CEO of York Corporation had handled a pot and pan and cooked for a woman. She expressed her surprise and admiration for his efforts. Tanya reflected on Zachary's past, noting that he used to avoid engaging with girls and received numerous love letters without showing any interest. She even considered him somewhat misogynistic. Despite this, Tanya allowed Grandma May to set him up with Serenity, hoping that she might change his perspective on women. Zachary acknowledged his father as a role model and walked the same path, which left Tanya speechless. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Voice Novel, and follow Voice Novel on Facebook, so you will get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Thank you.